Very soon in the future, if we are not careful, this House of Reps and Senators will be asking to have private jets in order to go to their constituency. And we don't want to get to that.
Just for sake of clarity, who should be the leader of the party in the state? I say this because you mentioned that the congresses were peaceful, but we saw that was from the Congress in Rivers State. The governor wasn't there. And what we understand and clarify that is that the governor is the leader of the party in that state. And this was what Minister Wike was addressing when he said anyone who would want to take instructions from him in the state would bear the consequence.
That was supposed to be a simple question, especially for someone that has been in Nigerian politics and Nigerian governance for so many, many years. But you can see the way he's twisting the whole thing, left and right. It's a simple question. Whenever a new governor attains the office of a governor of a state, that governor, according to PDP's manifesto or their constitution, that governor becomes the leader of the party in that state. So before Wike became the governor of Rivers State, there was somebody who was in charge of the party structure in Rivers State. Now that Wike has left and Fubara is the governor, the simple question is who is supposed to be the party leader in that state? Simple. And it's supposed to be the current governor of the state. But we have people like Wike, after tasting the power and the money that is in Rivers State, he finds it difficult to leave that seat and that position and the control of those things for the current governor of Rivers State. And if you listen to what Dan Ulasi was saying, that governor of a state, you can't just pick it from the road. That for Wike to have done all he did to make sure that Fubara comes in, so Fubara should now be following him like a slave and not have his own mantra or his own ways of doing things in a state that he is now currently the chief security and the governor of a state.
2 months to the last presidential election, Wike invited me to Port Harcourt, and I was there for 2 nights. In the course of our discussion, I knew he had serious misgivings following the party primary that brought Atiku in. We were discussing when a young man walked in, and he said, Chief Dan, that's how he calls me. This young man you are looking at is going to be the next governor of Rivers State. His name is Fubara. So I turned to the young man, I said, I don't know, I'm just seeing you for the first time. Don't be like other governors. You're going to sit every month between 15 to 20 billion naira. It might enter your head that you give a man money or power or both. It doesn't change the person, but it reveals whom the person is. I hope you don't reveal yourself negatively. Appreciate what this young man is doing for you now. He could have given this governorship to anybody because he had complete control of the state, as it were. And he was a governor that excellently performed in Rivers State. Nobody would give a doubt to that in this country. That the Emir, Sultan, everybody was going to Rivers to commission one major project or the other. And you can see what he's also doing at the Federal Capital Territory. Let's sit down with the Minister of Federal Capital Territory. What is the problem? Before their own colleague. Because somebody, let me tell you, somebody to make you governor in this country is not, you don't pick it on the street.
Was there an election in Rivers State? Because you keep saying
there was an election in Rivers State.
So the Rivers State people didn't make Fubara this?
Well, look, let me tell you something. Did Buhari make Tinubu president of Nigeria? He made himself everything he wanted. Most Nigerians didn't vote for him, but he's president of Nigeria. I'm using it as a loose language, making yourself. Because you have to make yourself something in this country. Nobody helps you.
So Wike is God, Abi? that can make somebody governor in a state.
What I'm saying that you make somebody governor if you have the apparatus of power.
Apparatus with state funds.
I don't know how. Just a second.
What fund? What was his asset declaration before he became governor?
Just a second.
How do you mean? There are some things that you said that I feel that it's not in the interest of democracy, very undemocratic.
Just tell me what.
Number one, you saying somebody making the other person. It's the people that still vote in elections. Let's not make election be like a joke in this country. Secondly, you kept on saying, he did so well, people cannot. No, a lot of people have faulted what he did. Go and check the unemployment numbers, over 40% while Wike was there in Rivers State. People were suffering unemployment. So infrastructure is not solving the economic malaise of unemployment. There are many things that are different.
Rather than these people to come out and tell you what the truth is and say what the truth is, the way it is, they would rather come out and continue to defend the indefensible. They keep talking about Wike doing wonderful job in Rivers State. They keep talking about Wike doing wonderful job in Abuja. These are the kind of leaders that we are talking about. These people had no mentality of understanding that the Nigerian people don't need just road infrastructure. That is not the only thing that the Nigerian people need. Where are the companies? Where are the factories? Where are the manufacturing companies that all the young ones that are coming out from school can go to? And yet they will be talking about Wike doing wonderfully well. And this is the kind of structure that the young ones or the true Nigerians, these are the kind of structure, these are the kind of people we need to take away from the surface of this political system in Nigeria before we can move forward. You had the same thing that Oshiomhole, what he was saying about Obaseki, that his wife is barren, they don't have children.
I was shocked yesterday to see Mrs. Obaseki, the First Lady, saying that our candidate has no wife. She is the most, I'm sorry that she had to say that, because here is a woman who has no child. Between him and Obaseki, they have no child, they are childless. They are even not ready to adopt. I mean, I don't blame anybody who don't have a child. But people who have love for children, they go to motherless home and adopt children. They have not adopted. They are both in their 60s. So you married with, I don't know whether it's a contract or whatever it is, but they have no child.
You will think Oshiomhole, with his age and with all what he has gone through in the Nigerian politics, a time to behave like a normal and respectable person. At least when you are young, you can understand if you don't have the common sense. But the moment you become an adult and age caught up with you, there are certain things you need to start putting away. So these are the set of people. If we Nigerians truly want to take Nigeria to the next level, these are the kind of people we need to get rid of. He showed that politics in Nigeria, democracy in Nigeria is not about the people. It's about individuals and the way they want things to go. But I'm telling you today, as a Nigerian, whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are in any part of the world, do not let this kind of happenings or statements, do not let them discourage you. Because these people will do everything in order to scare away the Nigerian people. And the more you keep saying you haven't got anything to do with Nigerian politics, the happier it is for these people. So I am encouraging you today not to think that way. Because without you and me, we cannot get Nigeria to that next level that we need to get it to. We cannot. In the past, you have the South, Southwest, Southeast. The blame has always been that it is the Northerners. It is the northern part of the country that is bringing Nigeria down because of their exposure and because of their mentality. That has always been the case for many, many years. But recently, you get the Igbos and the Yorubas facing themselves. And it has become so heated that it has never happened in the history of Nigeria that all these three major tribes are at loggerheads so bad. They have always been at loggerheads, don't get me wrong. But it has not always been so obvious as it is today. And that is why when people are talking about one Nigeria, I always said it. One Nigeria is not something that can work for us. We can have separated regions under one Nigeria and let every part govern itself. Yes, I agree with that. And for those who continue to insist that together we are better than separated, then not with these kind of individuals that are running the show in Nigeria. If there's any time that the Yoruba, the Igbos, and the Northerners need to come together, there's no better time than now. Years upon years upon years of stealing has brought us to where we are. Very soon in the future, if we are not careful, this House of Reps and Senators will be asking to have private jets in order to go to their constituency. And we don't want to get to that. So Nigerian people, if there's any time we need to come together, it's now. We need to put a government in place who will have tolerance for corruption. And it's not just talking about having zero tolerance for corruption. It's having a government and leaders that will crown consequences over all impunity. The reason why Nigeria is where it is today is that people that are supposed to be in leadership positions that have stolen the country dry are still walking free in Nigeria. We need a government. We need a leader that will understand that crowning consequences and dealing with all these impunities, if you have to create a committee of judges that all they do is deal with those that have embezzled public funds, let it be, and let us start showing examples. We need a government, we need leaders that the minute you did anything wrong, you will be dealt with within the next 7 days. And it will be public so that others can be cautioned. And until we start having a Nigeria that works in such a way before things can start getting changed, we need to first of all go back and understand that what we have been doing in the past 50 years is a complete waste of time. We have to go back to almost capital punishment, visible punishment within the shortest period of time. And gradually, we will start putting things in place. If you know you get to a position and you steal, and the hammer will be brought down on your head, you will think twice before you do it. It's just like you are abroad and you saw a traffic light change to red. You just don't go through it because you know that by the next morning, you will get a letter through your letterbox. And if you are not paying £100, you'll be paying $150. And then 3 points will be taken off your driver's license. Sharp, sharp. So this one is like you offend and then the consequences is there, right there. And until we get Nigeria to that place, we can never and we will not move forward. The corruption in Nigeria is so terrible that almost everybody in the Nigerian government system is corrupt. Corruption is totally unacceptable. But if in Nigeria we have people that are competent and a little corrupt, the system will still give the Nigerian citizens what they need. But when you have a country that the leaders are incompetent and then corrupt, then the country will never move to where it needs to move to. But do not let this discourage you as a Nigerian. You have to understand that you as a person need to play a part. Whether you are in Nigeria, whether you are abroad. Those in Nigeria, all of us cannot run abroad. Over 200 million people cannot run abroad. So we have to come together at one point in order to fight these few people that are killing us. And these people, they are just probably 1 million or 2 million, destroying the lives of over 220,000, million people. I will not ask you, like I've always said, to go out there and protest, even though we don't need mini protest. We need a monster revolution. But put that mini protest and monster revolution aside, because they will not let you have it. But I am encouraging all Nigerians from all parts of the world that the one opportunity, which I always said on all my videos, is that the Nigerian government, through that constitution, even though we all agreed is a flawed constitution, but you still have the opportunity every 4 years to come out there and elect who you want. Like I always said, a lot of people will say, we've done it before. You've not done enough. There's 230 million people in Nigeria. The last election, as far as I can understand or know, hardly did we have 25 million people. So you've not done enough. Until the day I see 80 million, 90 million, 100 million Nigerians coming out to vote. And then let me see the touts or the INEC that will then come out and cancel the election or give the election to the person that did not win. And let us open our eyes and see what will happen. So we need to get to that level. And that is why I'm encouraging everyone. If you have not gotten your PVC, get your PVC. Because this is the only gun, this is the only bullet that we, the Nigerian people, have. On that given one opportunity day to elect somebody. And like I always said on my video, all we need to do is to identify that leader that will understand that Nigeria is not working. That leader that will understand that the current people we have in government will never ever make Nigeria work. We need a complete and total overhauling of the Nigerian system for it to work, starting with that corruption and crowning consequences. You break the law, the Lord deals with you, not in 3 years, not in 5 years, but immediately. And people will start sitting right. Thank you very much, and I'll see you on my next video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please try and subscribe and share this video. I know a lot of Nigeria prefer all the gossip, all the celebrities and all those things. But for us to get Nigeria back to where we need to get it to, that people will not be running away from Nigeria to Europe when we can actually make Nigeria Europe. And for us, or for those in diaspora, you can play a massive part. If we truly mean to do the right thing, I don't see any reason why those in diaspora, during that time of election, over 20 million of you, even if it is only 10 million, that will go back home and vote for us to have the democracy that we need. It is not too much for us to do for the future of ourselves and for the future of our children. I'll see you on my next video. Take care.